Hi, today we will see how to create, delete and list all the SQS present in my AWS account in any region. So we will create the SQS queue using Java. So for that we need to go to our credentials, my security credentials, and click access key and generate a new access key. So as always recommended, please delete this access key and secret key once it is done. Then we can use any terminal like shell or command to set the access key and secret key. So in IntelliJ, in terminal, I will just use AWS configure, press enter. So for that we need to install AWS CLI. So I have already installed it. The link is provided in the description below. Default region is Mumbai. So once it is done, you need to go and import AWS SDK. So I have my Maven dependency and I am importing 1.11.788 version, and we need to go to Maven and re-import it, or we can right click in the project and use Maven, then re-import. So in order to find the latest version, what you need to do is like we can Google it, Maven AWS SDK. Here we can find all the latest versions which are available, and we can just copy it and paste it in our dependency in pom.xml. So once it is imported, what we will do is like we will import it in our create queue class. So I have imported AWS SQS, then client builder, then create queue request. So using build function, I have assigned it to AWS SQS. So here we can specify like what are the region, which profile to use, or set the credentials here itself instead of setting it in AWS configure. But it is not recommended because it will be pushed to your GitHub and everyone can view it. So best way is to configure it in your local machine or the server in which you are building it. And then we will do is like new create queue request, and I will pass the name as my queue. So in that region there should not be any other queue with name my queue. So let's go and check. So in SQS queue in Mumbai region, we can see that we had only microservice queue. So using .create queue, we will create the queue and get the URL, and after that I will print out the URL. Let's run the program. We can see that the queue is created and the URL is printed. So if you go and verify, oh, not yet. Yeah, it is created my queue. Now we will check what are the queues available in my AWS account. So for that we will use AWS SQS and again our client builder, and client builder dot list queues. It will give me all the queues. So I will just print out what are the queues URL. So it's very simple. Just go and run it. So we can see both the URL has been printed. So in order to cross verify, we can just click the queue and here it will show us the URL. If we click this queue, it will show us the URL for microservice queue. Similarly, in order to delete this, what we need to do is like we need to provide the queue URL. So what I will do is like I will just copy it, and in delete queue we had same AWS builder, and in my queue URL we have passed the URL which is mapped to that queue. So later we will just call SQS dot delete queue and pass the delete queue request, and we will just print out. So this is not necessary and we won't be able to cross verify it, just in order to print like what is the request AWS returned after the deletion. So you just print it out. Let me run it. So you can see that it is successful. If I go and visit the console, so you can see that my queue is no longer available. So that's all for this tutorial. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, and a sub to the channel would be incredible. Thank you. See you again.